I'm born on the 27th September 1960. DNA studies done, I'm the last human being born on Earth. I'm the last human being born on Earth that can use all 32 biospheres. Biosphere senses. That's your natural organic matter because you only live in 5 senses, 95 to 99% of the time, inverted into your mind. You don't even believe in it. You were told in 1999 in post-human stage since 1960. I'm the last human being born on Earth. And you know what this means? I can use 100% of my mind, and every other person in the world, except for 113 people, can only use between 7 and 15, no matter what comes out of their mouth. They only live in a 5-sense world, right, mentally. Okay? They're mental species living in the reptilian brain. And every human being on Earth lives in the reptilian brain with their high IQ in consciousness, a mental event, a mental process, and they nominate themselves. Consciousness is an illusion. Okay? Nobody even knows that. But they're designed into it. And they use that kind of grammar with evolving. And they evolve in their chromosomes, evolution mutation. Today, they're more artificial with virtual reality and an alien invasion because they depend on it. They depend on the grammar, screens, radio waves, mutations, artificial intelligence, and virtual reality. Look at children today, most of them on beautifications, Snapchat, YouTube, mimicking, like they copy people. They look for love in all the wrong places. Okay, mental disorders and defects and stress-related problems are going through the roof as they're polarized into screens, polarized into a 5-sense world. Okay, they don't even believe in it. They're declared species in brain-lock denial. They're declared in species in absolute denial. They've lost their biosenses. The third eye is the window to the light bulb idea. The light bulb idea is a picture that gives you 1,000 words that cannot lie to you. Dimensional thinking, remote viewing, mental telepathy, ESP, telekinesis. To master the mind from the outside in instead of the inside out. You cannot master the mind inside the mind. It's not possible. When you use IQ and you start to develop yourself like you're something special and disrespect your parents and think you're something special and you think they're dinosaurs, you don't follow your natural organic methods with your ancestral tools in your DNA. DNA is declared the book of life and DNA doesn't lie. And it proves that every person in the world is living in a big, great delusional lie because DNA don't lie. Their body cells go in corruption during the daytime and can only be at nighttime. We repair 24 hours a day. We don't have mental disorders or gene defects. And when we do, we repair overnight because we repair 24 hours a day. And it's only 113 people recorded with DNA studies done that can do that. Only 113 people recorded with DNA studies that can do that, okay, that has the evidence through medical files, right? With things that they used to think was miracles, they now found out through our biosenses and biologically. That's why Jeremy Gibbs wrote the book Freedom, The Cure of the Human Condition Humanity, for the first time in human history, hailed by 16,000 top scholars in the world. And what do they say? They say, we can do what Christ can and every apostle in that bloodline DNA. I've been dead 3 times, brought someone back to life 3 times with the most powerful peer reports, the most powerful miracles in hospital, right? With a poem written in 2003, the one and only, worldwide, 8 months. It's on my biological limits to satisfy your reptilian brain because you have no beta-bacteria, right? It's collapsed. That's your immune system because you're collapsed. Because your mind's in corruption, corrosion, illusion, inverted into yourself. And you don't even believe in it. You're mesmerized. You live to be 1,000 years old. We have people 900 years old here, right? Okay, hidden, very deep in the jungles. We have people that's come out 500 years old, 400 with their DNA, 257 with a birth certificate, 197 with a birth certificate, off the grid, the last human beings born on Earth that can think outside the mind with a universal language that creates 10 times more fruit, right, with 10 times more nutritional value, and their aura is 20 times more powerful than any Westerner in the world. They don't have an aura anymore because their biosensors collapse all their 6 senses, right, which is 27 senses. They don't even know they got them. They don't even know their own biological system because they don't listen to their body. They only listen to the voice of mind that tells them otherwise. They only believe in their own truth, right? Twisted and turned inside out, upside down with the adverse effect of anti-clockwise in their DNA. Everybody dies from stress, from every premature condition, prematurely, right, by 900 years. We know that. We know that for a fact. We've been deceived so far beyond the mind that most people can't deal with it. And in fact, we know 93% is beyond the point of return, completely stripping their biosenses. That's what Hawaiian syndromes is all over the world. They've lost their biosenses. It's on reports in hospitals across the whole world. People lost their magnetic fields. We see that with mental disorders and defects going through the roof. People taking drugs with voices in their mind that's been ultimately designed from extinct and cleared on documents all over the world. We know every grammar with ADHD and psychosis, schizophrenia, bipolar is all inverted and lies because we can fix it. With one adverse effect, we can fix every mental disorder and every single defect by understanding the voices in our mind is a hostile entity. The voice in mind's been ultimately designed from an extinction. You know, we can say it's demons in the mind because it is. And they mesmerize you. They'll tell you whatever you want to hear because it's a personality. And a personality is two voices of mind from the tree of knowledge of all things good and evil we get designed into. A child's a genius at 5 years old, creates two modes of mentality, a sacred secretion, and his body cells works perfectly together. He creates a molecules of mentality. He goes to school and the wheels fall off and he becomes inverted, and those molecules die by the time he's 15, and he becomes like a robot inside his mind with a high IQ that only makes him good at what he do, but in fact not intelligent. It's met with the greatest decision around the world by 99.9% because they're trapped in their mind with these tools, right? And they have no faith in their own biological genes and the placebo, right? The placebo effect. Your placebo effect is 10 times more powerful than your reality. And when you don't even know what it is, because you can't think with a universal language, you spread a virus around the world that causes the placebo effect that sends animals around circles all over the earth and birds falling out of the sky and a fauna to collapse. And it's collapsed between 38 and 95% across the whole world. But the most wisest civilization in the world creates fauna 10 times more powerful with 10 times more fruit because they bear the right fruit with a relationship that we don't have. We don't have a relationship. In fact, we can't even keep our own relationship together. We conquer, debate, and divide with self-centered egotism and sit in front of screens all day with fake tools and synthetic and mutate in our DNA in the Y chromosome declared by FDA, getting younger and younger and younger and more mental disorders and more gene defects through the roof. 77% of our children today is born with these gene defects with chronic diseases. And it's reported they're probably going to die around 40, 45, as you're probably going to die about 60 today because you get younger all the time, but you don't believe in it. Listen, fauna's collapsing all over the world. Your bifidobacteria is collapsed by between 45 and 95% and 100% in some, right? That's your immune system because your body cells are in stress and you die from stress. And everything you live by is stress in a massive global delusional state. It's the biggest killer in the world today. And no one understands that because they can't form the bioweapon. They can't form their bioweapon so that no weapon form against them can prosper. Because it's a fact of life, because we're living evidence. We can do what Christ can and more, but people don't believe in it. So therefore, they're trapped in their own mind because they don't have faith in it, right? You know what they do? There's 130 of us here, and you know what? We're all on the same page. We know the whole world's so inverted into themselves. We use 100% in mind. They can only 7 to 9, right? We use 32 biosenses. They only use 5, and the 6th sense, 1 to 5%. Some people use their intuition 5 times more than others, but they have no comprehension behind that, or above that, or beyond that. That's it. They're post-humans. We're told in 99. Every single thing's written on documents back then when you were told in the movie Matrix documentary, those that think instinctively were tuned out of the program. That's those that think methodologically. And it's not any of the Westerners. They think with their mind mentally, right, with a high IQ, and they even nominate themselves to trapped in their consciousness, which is an illusion, a mental event, a mental process, an imagination. Read the documents, man. They even nominate themselves that they're mental and an illusion without even realizing it. Christ's consciousness doesn't exist. Being in the image means the relationship. And it's a relationship they don't have that we do have because they live in mindsets on evolution, mutation, virtual reality, and artificial intelligence and alien invasion, which is a demonic possession across the whole world that's controlling 98.97%. Okay, and there's only one way out of this. The book Freedom by Jeremy Griffiths and Win Up the Breathing program is the only way to restore your biological genes to go on a new timeline where time stands still and life preserves in your biology, your DNA, the book of life.